Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to another special episode of Time Out with Charlie and Andy. My name, as always, is Andy Danauta, and I'm here with my wonderful, beautiful wife, and she is
Charlie Danauta. You're welcome again.
Yes, guys, you're welcome. Thank you so much for following us all this while. We want to really appreciate every one of you that have been following every episode. You've been sending messages. Those messages, keep them coming. We've been really encouraged. Now, guys, the matter of the day, we have a very exciting, topic we want to talk about. Charlie, it is the place of ex and besties, just the way we love to call them, in our contemporary, in our generation right now. We want to say besties and exes. The topic for today is we want to talk about the place of ex and besties in marriage or current marriage or relationship. Now, what is their place? What level of access should they have in the relationship, and how do you control that access? Because we've had a number of people, that allowed their besties or so-called besties to actually encroach into their marriage, or the exes. Some people out there, Charlie, say that my ex is still my friend. We were friends before, all of those things, and so they still hang out. So we want to talk about the balance of all of this. What is the place of the bestie, and what's the place of the ex, right, Charlie? Now we have Charlie. Charlie wants to just spit something out for us concerning this topic, and we are set for you, Charlie. Yes, over to you, Charlie.
Okay.
Yes.
Exes and besties, and when we talk about besties, we're not just talking about opposite sex, same sex too.
Okay.
So yes, same sex besties, because over time we've come to find out that even same sex besties have great influence in marriage or relationship. Yes.
Very true.
And some marriages or relationships that have had little shakings or chaos like that were stirred as a result of the influence of besties. Okay, first I'll start with the exes. I don't know, I know you are wondering right now, and you'll be asking, to what degree or to what extent should my ex have influence in my relationship or marriage? Another question is, should they even have any influence at all?
Very true.
Yes.
To what degree?
To what degree first, and should they have any influence at all? These questions come up as a result of the people involved, the couple involved. To some couples, their exes are still permitted to connect, because it is okay with the couples. They are permitted to still connect to them, but to a certain limit. While to others, they feel that their exes should not even connect at all, because they are not comfortable with having exes involved in their lives. They are only okay when their exes are met on the road or somewhere and there's a hi, but we shouldn't have connection. I still want to ask this question. When you break up with your ex and you keep talking and chatting and gisting and communicating,
line
and you
is still
say,
open between both of you.
Yes, you say we're still friends.
We're still friends.
What is the definition of the friendship? Because to me, I feel that you're still trying to build on something you have left. It is better that after such a breakup, you give each other the space to grow out of the wall that you built, because you've built memories together. No matter how terrible that relationship was, there were memories and there were happy times. And sometimes you might just want to focus on the happy times, especially when you are having your relationship. It's become real tight, and no more time to spend with each other. You get busy. Sometimes you are tempted to begin to dwell on the times you had with your ex, because you communicate more. Yes, at such times. And I have noticed something too. I don't know why exes always want to come back, whether the male or the female. At some point, it's like they always regret it. Yes, at some point, it's like they always regret it, so they always want to return. We've had that in plenty of relationships. First, they break up, and we've heard dramas of, the ex started communicating again, the ex started doing this and doing that. I don't know why they want to come back, but I know that there's a way that it can be managed and controlled. So like I said, it's about the couple. If your partner says he or she is not comfortable with your ex being apart, you shouldn't get angry or be worried or give attitude or compare her or him
I think the partner is insecure. Some people say that, Charlie.
You're
just insecure. There's nothing going
on. We're just friends. We don't deny that you're friends. All we are saying is if your partner is not comfortable, you should consider it. If your partner, there's something with women sometimes, it's just like intuition. And
Very
for
true.
us,
Powerful
for the spiritual man, yes, that. It's like discernment. You just get to know that something is not just right and I don't feel comfortable. For the guys, don't question it. Can you just listen to us, sit down and talk about it? And if your partner says, I don't, please don't let your ex involved in the relationship. She's not asking you to be an enemy, or he's not asking you to be an enemy to your ex. It is permitted to greet, to do this, meet in occasions and just say, but if he or she says, I do not want any connection, please keep it that way. And then to those who accept that there are connections, like we can have them connected, you have to define to what level
Very true.
they should be connected.
Very true.
Because the space, how much space you give them is how much they can influence your relationship. So if every little thing you always you call and your ex is asking, sometimes it's like we always just want to make our exes feel like we're doing so well. So even when we're chatting or talking with them, we want to tell them how much we have done, the progresses, and before we know it, we are so drifting. You're drifting in the excitement of trying to tell them what you've done. You drift away. So you really want to determine the extent to which your ex influences your relationship. I'll let him talk.
Thank you so much, Charlie, for that. Now I want to come to the place of, temptations and all of that. There are people sometimes that tempt Satan. Sometimes Satan tempts us, and sometimes we tempt Satan. Now in the scriptures, Paul said that do not give an occasion to the devil, and that occasion can be, an ex. Lines are open. Sometimes crisis happens in relationship and you want somebody to take your side. We've had a lot of people coming to connect with their exes more than every other person, and then when a crisis just develops in their current relationship, they rush back to their exes and imagine he did this, imagine he did that, and that ex always comes up nice. What? Are you kidding me? He did this and did that. Oh yeah, come, let me console you. Before we now hear consolation has entered into another relationship and all of those things like that. And so most people don't know how to block this from the beginning. That's why we're bringing the issue of control. You've got to learn how to control your relationship with that particular ex and all of that. If not, they're going to ruin your relationship, they're going to ruin your marriage, and you will have yourself to be blamed. Yes, Charlie, anything about this?
Okay, I would just say that when it comes to besties, it is good to have besties. And it is good for them to be involved in your life, but also like the exes, it has to have a certain limit. I'm even talking about same sex. Like a girl and a girl, a boy and a boy besties. Because there's a limit which there's an extent to which you should allow them involved into your life. They can influence a relationship, and they can either build or destroy relationships or marriages.
Very true.
So you cannot, as a guy, I don't feel that as a guy you should have a bestie as a lady and say, oh, she was my bestie before we got married and everything, and I share everything with her. I wonder if you would like that the first person your wife calls or your husband calls to explain or tell them an event that just happened to them is their besties. What happens to the wife? Your wife or your husband is supposed to be your bestie. When you get married, you become one. You are now partners. They should be the first to hear about you. Same with the same sex. So I want us to begin to take note the extent to which we allow besties and exes come. Lastly, I would like to ask this question. I don't know why we are trying to emphasize that exes should be given a limit. Is sometimes during the talk and chat and everything, they begin to ask questions like, what happened to us? Why did we break up?
What happened to our former relationship?
Yes, what happened to our former relationship?
That question shouldn't even come up. We are done and we're dusted.
Yes.
I'm with somebody now.
Exactly.
Why are you bringing that up?
Especially if the guy or the lady is married, are you expecting that person to leave who he or she is with and come to be with you? Because by asking that question, you're stirring up something to create an environment or an atmosphere where something can begin to happen. So we need to cut down on how much we engage with our exes and our besties.
Thank you very much, Charlie, for that. Now, like you're saying, and I said earlier, Listen, some people out there tempt Satan. You don't need all those drama.
No,
At
you
first,
don't.
it will look like you can have everything under control and all of that, but
Yeah.
eventually, you know, when you keep talking and bringing up former memories and all of that, it has an effect. It's going to have a definite effect in your relationship or marriage. Now,
Yeah.
guys, until we see you next week, this conversation is going to continue tomorrow on
Yeah.
Facebook by 8 p.m. We'll have a WhatsApp group right now. We're going to put out the number there, the link. You need to follow us on that WhatsApp group. All right, guys?
Yeah.
Until we see you next week, this is Charlie and I saying goodbye
Yeah.
to you. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
See you.
Bye.